The S&P 500 is doing something very critical, and we're going to find out over the next couple of days if it's going to play out. So first up, let's take a look at the S&P 500 SPY ETF. So let's crack open this chart and see what's going on in the stock market today. All right. Today SPY was up 0.34%, and we are starting to get the bounce from that oversold condition that we had last week. And we did bounce all the way from our support at the 200 daily moving average to our resistance at 400 and instantly found sellers at resistance. So remember, we are in a short-term downtrend, so if you're taking long trades, do not hesitate to lock your profits at these resistance levels because you can always buy back in if they break out. So right now we can clearly see sellers at 400, which means we don't want to get bullish until we can break above that resistance, and then above 400 we will be looking for the run back up to 407 and the gap close at 408. Now, one thing I want you to pay attention to is that the 200 daily moving average is officially flat, and it is only 1 to 2 days away from being positively sloping. And if you know anything about your stock market history and you've looked at 200 daily moving averages coming out of bear markets, that is an extremely bullish development, but it has the contingency that we need to hold above this critical support at 393. So for that reason, the bulls still have insanely good risk reward ratios because they have the risk right down here at 393, and that is a very small amount of risk to take on if we are indeed going to much higher prices. So I do continue to see buying pressure into this week unless we lose that support at 393. So if you're bearish, you should wait until that level breaks down, or you should only be shorting at resistance levels. So watch that level very closely, and if we break down below it, then we're still in the bear market and we're likely coming all the way back down to the lows in December, which can take us back down towards 380. So we're bullish above 393, but we need to be cautious at resistance levels because of course there's always going to be the chance we see profit taking and short sellers stepping in at resistance. Also pay attention to the lower Bollinger Band because it is starting to expand, so there is still the possibility we are going down to fully test that support at 393 because on Friday we did not actually get the touch on that level. So in the short term, do not be surprised if we go all the way down to that level and tap it as support and then continue to higher prices. So make sure you're letting the price action do all of the talking and be prepared for any scenario. If starting tomorrow we just blast right through 400 like it's not even there, then we're instantly looking for those higher prices and we don't need to get that physical touch of the 200 daily moving average. On the Nasdaq 100 triple Qs, we were up 0.72% today, and just like SPY, the 200 daily moving average is now flattening out and getting ready to turn up into a positive slope. So on the triple Qs, you can stay bullish above that critical risk level at 290. If we break down below 290, we have the gap fill at 288 and then a gap fill at 273. So you're instantly getting a lot more risk off if we slice down through that critical support. Now we still do have a daily gap that did not fill, which is just below 293. And this could be a breakaway gap. If it does not fill and we continue to bounce tomorrow and we take out today's high, we are very likely not going to fill that gap anytime soon. So if you want to, you can stay bullish above this level at 293, knowing that if we break down below it, we're coming down to 290. And if we start to bounce from here, we could still come back up to 301 and fill the gap at 303. Again, these are bullish developments above the 200 daily moving averages and then instantly bearish if we break down below them. On the Dow Jones, we were up 0.29% today, and the Dow Jones is starting to get that small bounce off of that oversold condition, but it clearly just looks like a dead cat bounce because we're still getting rejected below a negatively sloping 5 EMA. So if we do lose support at 327, we're looking for a test of the 200 daily moving average right around 323.5. And then below that, we could retest the breakout level down here right around 319. The next bull breakout will be above resistance at 335 to 337, and then we could see the higher resistance levels in the 340s. On the Russell 2000 IWM ETF, we were up 0.35% today, and we are seeing a bounce off of the positively sloping 50 EMA, and we're back above the neckline at 188. The next resistance we need to break is going to be up here at 192, and then above that we have the bull breakout, which could take us to the higher prices in the low 200s. Watch support down here at 188 and the 50 EMA just below 187, and if we break that, we're likely going to 185 and then the gap fill below 181. On the ARKK ETF, we were up 0.99%, and ARKK is bouncing off of the 50 EMA, and we're still bearish while we're below 39 because that is a lower low breakdown. We have the lower high and the lower low, so if we break down from here, that's going to require a break of the support at 38, and then we'll be looking for 36.8 and then 34.6. We're instantly getting a lot more bullish if we can clear this resistance zone between 40 to about 41.3. On the VIX, we were down 3.32% today, so the VIX is starting to crush early in the week, but overall the VIX is still above 20, which means you still need to be cautious. The VIX crushing down below 20 will be a buy signal that we're going to get the bullish breakout, but right now we don't see that, even though the VIX is continuing to crush from that overextended condition. On Bitcoin, we're currently down 0.63%, and Bitcoin is grinding on top of the support trend line and the rising 20 daily moving average, so we do have support right around 23,000. If that breaks down, we could come back down towards support down here right around 21,500, and then below that we will be looking for a test of the 200 daily moving average right around 20,000. The next bull breakout will be above 25,000 to send us to the price target at 30,000. On Amazon stock, we were up 0.28% today, and Amazon is trying to hold on to this support zone right around 93.8, and if that breaks down, we're looking for the gap fill at 90. Critical upside resistance to break is right around 98 and then 102, and then if we break all of that resistance, we'll be looking for 109 and 115. On Microsoft stock, we were up 0.38% today, and Microsoft got the second day in a row closing below this critical support at 252, which increases the probability we could see a rejection and come down towards 242. We're instantly more bullish if we can break above 252, and that could send us higher to close the gap at 262 and then hit the price target at 267. On Nvidia stock, we were up 0.92% today, and Nvidia is extremely heavily shorted right now, which is making it very difficult for it to go lower because there are a lot of shorts trying to cover and get out of this stock. So for that reason, you can short Nvidia against the resistance up here right around 238, but instantly need to get out if we break above that resistance, because then we're going to 244. The break of support is going to require a breakdown below 230 and then 227, and that could send us back down towards the gap fill at 211. On Tesla stock, we were up 5.46% today, and we did see a slight increase in volume, and we now have a gap to fill to the downside around 198. But overall, this is a bullish pattern, and it looks like we're very close to another bull breakout, which could take us to our next price target higher at 230. Tesla is still very heavily shorted, and I did do a special video update on how we identified that using TrendSpider's tools of short volume and unusual options. So if you have not seen that video, you might want to check that out because it is very informative and it does tell you how you can use those tools to identify these moves. So in Tesla, you want to stay bullish as long as it's above the support down here at 196, and then instantly risk off below that because we could be coming down to 183. On Apple stock, we were up 0.82% today, and Apple is closing back over the 200 daily moving average, and the longer Apple can consolidate above this support at 146, the more likely it can bounce and go higher. If we do lose support at 146, it means we could be coming back down towards 143 and then 141, and the next bull breakout will be back over 150 for a retest of 156. On the financials, we went absolutely nowhere today, going down 0.03% and sitting right on top of the 50 EMA at 35.6. The industrials were up 0.89% today, finding resistance below the 20 daily moving average, and you can only stay bullish while it's above 100. The healthcare sector was down 0.3% today, getting very oversold outside that lower Bollinger Band, so it could be due for a dead cat bounce in the very near future, but overall it is still in a bear trend below 130. The energy sector was up 0.3% today, getting that bounce off of that support around 82.6 and coming right back up to the 5 EMA, and overall it is still in a bear trend that could send it down towards 80.5 next. So jumping back over to the SP500, this is an extremely critical week because we're either going to break down below 393 and go right back into the bear market, or we are going to start turning a corner and getting a positively sloping 200 daily moving average, which could be a very early indication that we're going to continue this bull trend. As always, we know both scenarios and we'll let the price action do all of the talking, and there is no reason to care which direction the market moves from here as long as you understand how to trade it and you're on the right side of the trend. So be prepared for that critical test of 393 or the bull breakout above 400, and then just let the price action guide you from there and you'll know exactly which trade you should be placing. If you want to come join the community of price action traders, come join us over at the Stocks Channel Trading Discord community where you get access to all of my intraday updates and analysis. I also have bank trade alerts that sends you all of your buy and sell alerts directly via email and text message, and only trades the ETFs CQQQ and SQQQ. You can find out how to join the Stocks Channel Discord or bank trade alerts by clicking on the link in the description of this video. So thank you for watching, everybody. I hope you're crushing this market, and as always, I will see you in the next episode.